small, but I feel so tall in Toy Town. I take my car and I drive afar in Toy Town. There's Mr. Plod and a dog called Bumpy. Hello, Mr. Plod. Get down, Bumpy. I pass the Ark, the Noahs live there, and so does the elephant, and so does the bear. Noddy, they say it's market day in Toy Town. If you have the fare, I'll take you there through Toy Town. There's Biggers who lives by the old oak tree, and we have adventures, Biggers and me. Why don't you come and join in the fun? Just follow me, 'cause it's only begun. I'm Noddy. I'm Noddy.
It was the Clockwork Clown, upside down. My, you do have some peculiar visitors, Noddy. 1 pint or 2? Just 1, please, Mr. Milkman. Oh, I do hope the Clockwork Clown winds down soon. Never a dull moment, is there, eh? That's what I always say. Never a dull moment. Noddy, could you please take me to the village of Bouncing Balls? I have a very important business there. I'll take you, Noddy said, if you promise to stay the right way up. Oh, all right, the Clockwork Clown said, and somersaulted once more. It was a long way to the village of Bouncing Balls, right through Toy Town, past Big Ear's toadstool house, and through the dark wood. Oh, I don't like it here much, Noddy said. Oh! Noddy's car had stopped. Oh! Whatever's wrong with it? It's never stopped before. Shall I look underneath? The clown asked, and somersaulted once again. Funny wheels you've got, Noddy. What's funny about them? They got faces. What are you talking about? Noddy came to have a look. Oh, it's you, is it?
Oh, we were only looking at your car.
It was 2 goblins who lived in the dark wood.
It's a lovely car, isn't it? Yeah, I wish we had a car like that.
Well, you haven't, Noddy said crossly. So please go away. Oh, chase them, the Clockwork Clown said, and he somersaulted round them so fast, they ran away. I think I've cleared up the trouble, Noddy said, and he and the clown set off. Noddy was glad to be home again. Oh, not a very good start to the day, he thought. I wonder who my next fare will be. He didn't have long to wait. A long, thick trunk was waving him down. At the other end of it was Jumbo, the elephant. No, will you please take me in your taxi? You're too big. No, I am not. I am not big. Jumbo sat himself firmly next to Noddy. His trunk and legs hung out at the side, and the door wouldn't shut. Get out, Noddy said. No. Oh, all right, Noddy sighed. Where do you want to go? To the dark wood, Jumbo said. The dark wood? I don't like going there. Well, I do, please. Jumbo refused to budge. Noddy drove slowly to the edge of the wood. Oh, well, I'm not going any further than that. This will do, thank you. Jumbo tried to get out. Oh, you are a nuisance. Heave and push as he would, Noddy couldn't get Jumbo out of the car. Luckily, he had a rope in the boot. He tied it round Jumbo's middle at one end, and he tied it to a tree trunk at the other end. And he got in the driver's seat and started the car. And that's how he got Jumbo out.
Oh, my Lord.
What are you going to do now? Noddy asked when Jumbo had untangled himself. Knock down trees, of course. That's what elephants do. And he proceeded to swish his trunk against the nearest tree. And then he curled it round and pulled and pulled. Stop it at once, Noddy shouted.
Lord, oh dear, I can't.
He couldn't talk very well while he was pulling. Noddy didn't know what to do. He drove as fast as he could to Toy Town and the Ark. Please open up, he cried as he banged on the doors. Jumbo the elephant is pulling up trees in the dark wood.
What's that?
Mr. Noah came out of the Ark.
Jumbo? He's nothing to do with me.
I know, Noddy said, but you're used to elephants and things.
Huh.
Mr. Noah grumbled.
Well, better go and get him, I suppose.
I'll go and get ready at once, Mrs. Noah said.
This, my dear,
Said Mr. Noah.
is a job for me. You stay here and look after the animals.
And he got into Noddy's car and drove back to the dark wood. Jumbo was in a sorry state. He hadn't pulled any trees, but he had hurt his trunk.
That'll teach you to be so silly.
Mr. Noah said, and led him away. Noddy was glad to be home that night and forget about the goblins and the dark wood. But he didn't forget about them. He kept seeing goblins all over his car. In and out, hooting the hooter, letting the air out of his tires. And then they started knocking at it. Noddy sat up with a jump. It wasn't a dream. There was someone knocking at his door. Outside was Gobbo the Goblin.
Evening, Noddy. I'm sorry to wake you. I wondered if you'd take me back home.
Pay you well, I will. It's not far to the dark wood.
The dark wood again. There was nothing Noddy wanted to do less.
Come on, Governor, do us a favour. Can't come to any harm, can you? After all, I'm with you.
Noddy hesitated. Oh, all right, just this once, he said with a sigh. It was very quiet. Only the occasional owl hooted, and the moon shone brightly down. Gobbo started singing.
It isn't very good in the dark, dark wood, in the middle of the night, when there isn't any light. It isn't very good in the dark, dark wood.
Do stop singing that, Noddy said. It makes me nervous.
Not to worry, Governor. Not to worry. Not going very well, is it, Governor?
I'm not going any deeper into the wood, Noddy said firmly.
No, you are not.
A strange voice said. And before Noddy knew what had happened, he was surrounded by goblins. What's going on? What's going on? He cried.
I'll tell you what's going on.
One of them said.
An armed robbery. That's what's going on.
Well, you can't rob me, said Noddy. I've nothing to rob. Only my clothes and my hat.
That'll do for starters.
One of the goblins shouted rudely and snatched Noddy's cap off his head.
And this will do for another.
A goblin pushed Noddy out of his car and sat himself in the driving seat. Gobbo! Where's Gobbo?
You don't want to take no notice of him.
He said he'd look after me.
Can't look after himself, can he? But we tricked him too.
And laughing uproariously, the goblins drove away. Noddy sat all alone in the dark wood. He felt very sad and very frightened. Noddy walked fearfully down the path and stopped. Glaring at him through the trees were two luminous eyes. Noddy started running. He ran and ran and ran. Bang! Noddy heard footsteps and a door opening.
Who's that?
Big Ears looked down at the crumpled heap on his doorstep,
Noddy.
and he pulled him into his home. Noddy was soon sipping a hot cup of tea and telling Big Ears what had happened.
We'll have to go and see Mr. Plod.
Big Ears said. What, now?
Yes, now.
Big Ears said firmly. Noddy and Big Ears knocked and waited, knocked and waited. Then they heard footsteps. And then Mr. Plod appeared.
Oh, this is highly irregular,
He said,
highly irregular.
Noddy's car's been stolen.
and my hat, Noddy added.
Oh, well, I better write down the details.
But Mr. Plod couldn't write down the details. Mr. Plod only had his pajamas on.
I think this calls for my uniform.
The dark wood wasn't so frightening in daylight, but Noddy kept close to Big Ears. There was no sign of the goblins and no sign of Noddy's car. Then they heard it. The slight tinkling of a bell. That, said Noddy, that is the bell on my hat,
I deduct from that noise
said Mr. Plod.
that the culprits are wearing the hat they stole from Noddy.
That's what I said, said Mr. Plod.
Forward.
But it was Big Ears who led the way. They came to a small clearing, and there in the middle stood Noddy's car. There were goblins all over it, under it and in it. It was in a sorry state. Gobbo saw them first.
I arrest you in the name of the law.
Mr. Plod thundered at him.
Oh, no, I only borrowed it. Honest, Governor, I only borrowed it.
It's no good anyway.
One of the other goblins shouted.
You can take it for all we care.
You take it, you mean.
Well, it's not working, it's not working.
That is a fact of which I am well aware. That,
P.C. Plod said firmly.
is why you are going to pull it.
It was a triumphant procession which entered Toy Town. Noddy and Big Ears and Mr. Plod seated in the car, and Gobbo and the goblins pushing and pulling with all their might.
This is the life.
Big Ears said. Monsieur Polly was amazed.
Oh, that will be very expensive.
I'm not paying for it,
No,
P.C. Plod added with satisfaction.
the goblins are.
So that's what they did. And Noddy invited Big Ears and P.C. Plod to celebrate the day he found his car in the dark, dark wood.
It's been a lovely day, now we have to go away. But we'll see you very soon in Toy Town. We'll be back another day, come and join us so we may see you very soon again in Toy Town. It's been a lovely day, now we'll have to go away. But we'll see you very soon in Toy Town. We'll be back another day, come and join us so we may see you very